The messages we have seen so far were in some ways expected by the user because he started the conversation with the chatbot to get results, to get answers. However, in some situations, these messages may not be expected because we have planned them. Let's think about a reminder for an appointment. A user could book a table on our website or a pizza delivery, and our chatbot could send a message maybe 1 hour before, 2 hours before. Or maybe we could have a user who doesn't respond to us, leaving the conversation because he gets distracted, because his battery died, and maybe his phone goes off. I mean, different things can happen. So you may often need to retrieve a user's attention if you lose him along the way. In a bad conversation, something like this might happen. Here we have the chatbot saying hello and asking the user for a secret code received by mail. The conversation stays here on hold, on this text input. Then, upon receiving the user's response, the chatbot would say thank you. However, what happens if the user doesn't respond here? Conversation stops, so we failed. We need a strategy, a solution to retrieve the conversation, so the chatbot greets the user exactly as before and then asks for the code received by email. Now we are going to track if the user responds by using a waiting for response tag, because here we are waiting for him to reply. As soon as the user responds, we are going to delete that tag with this action. So then let's recap. We are using set tag to keep track that we are waiting for a response, and delete tag action when we receive the reply. Finally, we can say thank you to the user. So in this way, we have tracked the situation, we have full control over what's happening. Now it's time to talk about broadcast messages. When we talk about broadcast, there are three basic themes. The first one is the audience, who we are going to send these messages to. The second is scheduling, that is, when, at what time, after which event we are sending this broadcast. The last one is design, is content, what we want to send to our user. Let's start with the audience. Who. As we have seen, users' data can be stored in variables and tags that contain information about their interactions. Variables and tags can be used to create segmented audiences. With the man tag, for example, we can recognize users by gender. We can then finally take advantage of these audiences to set them as target audiences for sending our broadcasts. So let's go ahead and create an audience for our broadcast. Let's go here on the audience item, create a new one, and let's call it didn't send call, for example. Here we are going to set the condition for which we put the users in this audience. So all the following condition, or at least one. We set all, and we are going to use a tag. Do you remember? We set a tag waiting for response for the users who haven't responded to us yet with the secret code, right? So I'm going to choose here the tag waiting for response, and the condition is that this tag exists. I'm going to add the condition and save it. So we have created an audience called didn't send code, which contains all the users having the tag waiting for response. Perfect, we handled the audience. Now scheduling. When we want the broadcast to start, broadcast, we are going to create a new one. We name it code reminder and we turn on enabled. I will skip this part because it's specific to the Facebook Messenger channel, and I choose to target this audience. As we have already created our audience, we choose didn't send code audience. So our goal will be every hour, like this, to send this broadcast to that audience. We also have the scheduling criteria now. Great! Finally, what do we want to send to the user? Let's go to the Design tab. The Design tab, it's simply a behavior like the ones you have already seen. So it's made of interaction, actions, and so on. So what do we say here? Let's go with, hey, where are you? I need the secret code. Just a random example, don't look at the copy, okay? Then we add a nice quick reply button that says proceed now. And let's link this to our behavior broadcast. Then to its second interaction, where we ask for the code. I think I'm done here, I can save. Our broadcast is ready. It will be sent every 60 minutes to the didn't send code audience. Not bad. As you can see here, we have the process pending. But this means that at 2:49 p.m. all users inside this audience will be involved, even those who may have just entered a minute before, at 2:48 p.m. for example. That's not good. I don't want to be so pushy. That's why we could change the criteria, the method. Let's optimize. Besides of interval setting, as you can see here, we have different ways of scheduling broadcasts. We used on interval, but we could, for example, use on trigger. On trigger allows us to choose how long after a certain condition is met. So it could be, let's set here 2 minutes after user interacts. So we wait 2 minutes after his last interaction to trigger this broadcast. The other type, as you see here, are at a specific time. So I could do on time, like every day at 4 p.m. Or we could go to a certain date and time if we send a promotion, as well as on demand, where the broadcast is triggered by external platforms calling this webhook. We go back to our on-trigger situation 2 minutes after the last interaction and save it. Now I would say we have everything we need to do a quick test. I publish our chatbot and I highlight here my Telegram user because we're going to test this on Telegram. As you can see, I just have the interacted tag, meaning the user has already interacted with the chatbot. Now I go to Telegram, I start the chatbot and I get the words "Welcome to incredible brand, please type in the secret code you received in your email." As you can see here, now I have a new tag, which is the waiting for response tag. So now I won't do anything in the next 2 minutes. If I will still have this tag, I'll be part of the audience to send the broadcast to. Don't worry, I'll get these 2 minutes going really fast. Now I open Telegram and wait for the broadcast. Okay, perfect! I got this new message from the chatbot. It reminds me about our conversation and asks me to click on the button. The broadcast works. Great! Before saying goodbye, 3 very important things. 1. You must always check rules, conditions and policies of the channel in which you want to broadcast. You can do everything you want whenever you want. 2. Remember to respect the users, disturb them as little as possible, and remind yourself that you are inside the instant messaging environment, not the email one. 3. In this channel, every message is important. A good chatbot is useful, but nothing can replace a human being. And that's all. I just have to wish you a lot of fun with Xenioo. See you soon.